Hey guys, it's Heather. Link is my homeboy. Today is Thursday, January 31st, 2019. This is Flosstube number 13. If you are a new viewer, welcome. And if you are a returning customer, welcome back. Got a little bit to talk about today. So a little bit late on this video here. Just been kind of busy and not really feeling the video thing. So had a chance to do it today. So let's get into it. Life updates. On Monday, I was taking River to her 15-month checkup and had to go run a couple of errands afterwards, and my car just like stopped working. I drove a Mazda CX-7, I think it's a 2007, and I was accelerating on like a main road. Speed limit's like 45. And was accelerating, and it just stopped accelerating and wouldn't go above idle speed, which is like 10 to 15 10 to 15 miles an hour. Now luckily I wasn't too far from home, so I was able to coast home instead of having to call and wait for a tow truck and stuff like that. And my husband thought he fixed it, or thinks he fixed it. I really don't know. What we thought was fixing it was a loose bolt. There was a bolt that like had damn near fallen out of the engine. He tightened it back up and everything, and he thought, oh, that's a throttle body, and it's a throttle body issue, and that's what that code means. It came on the car, and he was like, okay, we're golden, we're good. But then the more he looked into it, he was like, well, that's not the throttle body, so I'm not really sure what that screw was for, or that bolt was for, but I've cleared the code and it's working, and he's been driving it to work the past 3 days to see if he can replicate the issue, and no problems. So I guess whatever it was is fixed, maybe. But luckily nobody got hurt. You know, the sudden like not accelerating didn't cause any issues with other drivers or anything like that, and we didn't get into an accident or anything, so that's good. And then last week we had to take Link to the doctor. He started complaining about tummy pains, and he was being like, he wasn't being like an actual medical definition of lethargic, but he was being lethargic for Link. So, and he like wanted to take a nap and didn't want to eat lunch, and that was really concerning. So we took him into the doctor, and they were like, well, it can't be appendicitis. It's not on the right side, blah, blah, blah. Let's go get an x-ray just to see. Well, apparently he's just backed up, like severely. They said it's fairly common for kids who are being potty trained. So, we're taking steps to get it corrected. So luckily it wasn't to a point where he was like impacted or anything to where he had to get surgery and stuff like that. So, whew. But yeah, that's about it. Stuff with the car and the kid. Nothing else exciting is going on in my life right now. Stitching, that's what you're here for. So let's get on to that. I do have, I kind of have a little bit of everything for you. I've got an FFO, I've got an FO, I've got whips, I've got new starts, I've got haul, I've got shout outs, I've got plans. So let's go. So first FFO, and this is actually a proper FFO. I think in my last video I had showed that I got those styrofoam blocks to make cubes out of. Originally they were for my seasonal sayings from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, but they ended up being too small. I guess I got the wrong size. I don't know. But anyway, I found a good use for it. I made a cube. It's my first cube. This is the Michael Powell Garden Shed is the actual name of it. But there was a little Instagram hashtag where because it looks like a fancy outhouse, and so Michael Powell's design team actually charted the window for us, and I turned it into this cube. So I even made the bow myself. So this is done on a piece of 14 count light pink Aida. So you got a little bit of the Aida showing out here. And then I had saved a few pairs of my husband's old jeans that were like, had holes in the crotch or holes in the back, or belt loop broke or something like that. And I was planning on like getting some like waist canvas and stitching on them, but then I was like, really want to finish something in a cube, and I didn't plan ahead, so I didn't buy any fabric. I'll use the jeans. That'll work. So yeah, old jeans. And then I took a strip and made a bow out of it. I used Heather Moore, the Blessed Stitchers tutorial. I watched it a few months ago, and you know, honestly, I didn't go back and watch it again to figure this out. I just kind of remembered the steps. And I didn't do great. There's still a space in between where the fabric is. I cut the jean fabric too short, I guess. Or maybe this fabric was just a little too short, whatever, but covered it with some wide ribbon there, and you can't really, I mean, you can tell if you get right up on it, but who's gonna get it right up on it? But it can all be taken apart if I change my mind or whatever, because it's all done with the pins. Just the pins stuck in the styrofoam. The only thing that's really more permanent is the bow. I hot glued the ribbon around it to hold it, but it's also pinned in there too. It's just got pins stuck in the back there, so. But I was very pleased with how this turned out, and I can see many more cubes in my future. Super easy. Next, I have an FO. This is kind of an unexpected FO. I joined the School of Magical... What's the damn group called? I'm looking it up on my iPad over here because School of Magical Stitches and Literature. Okay, so they're the ones, it's Kate and Vicky of Reading and Stitching and Kate's Crafty Corner. And they, last year, I think they started they did a Jane Austen sal, and this year they're doing a Harry Potter themed. And basically, you know, each month, or, well, the first 2 months are a single book, and then the rest of the months it's 2 months per book, because they're longer books. But each book is like a year of school, and you get homework assignments. You go in, you get sorted into your houses. I'm a Hufflepuff, which I'm a Hufflepuff on Pottermore, and I'm a Hufflepuff, so Hufflepuff. And Hufflepuff is just fun to say. Hufflepuff, Hufflepuff, Hufflepuff. It's like Beetlejuice. If you say Hufflepuff 3 times, I'll show up on your doorstep. Don't try it. I can't remember all the time. I got kids. But I joined late, so I joined in week 4, and you get homework assignments. And because that week was, they've gone along and they were doing the challenges that they encounter down, that they encounter on their way to the stone. And you had to do, there was like different themes. There was, it was for the 7 different tasks. Like the first one was you had to stitch on something that had an animal, bonus points if it was a dog because of Fluffy. Then there was like stitch on something green, bonus points if it's actually a plant for the Devil's Snare. Something about, I think there was one about royalty for the chest. There was one about something that puzzles you, where you could use like specialty stitches or a floss you've never used before, or a designer, or something. Like it was supposed to be something that puzzles you. There was the mirror, which was the stitch on a piece you love. And I'm blanking on what the other ones were. But like really only for the first 2 did I actually stitch on the thing that, like, on the actual subject. You could also alternatively do penalty stitches, where instead of stitching 100 on the actual theme, you could stitch 200 on something else. Well, I started with this one because it had green and it also had grass, so I got a bonus point for stitching on the plant. And then I just started using it for the rest of the challenges because I wanted to get it done. I realized how close I was to getting it done. And I finished it. This is Hot Cider by Little by Little. That's how it's charted. Clearly mine's different. I did the DMC conversion, and I also did not put the words hot cider on there, And then at the very end, I decided I didn't like the gate or the fence that goes on the sides there. So I just left it off. But yeah, so that's done. Unexpected finish. This is like the most primitive piece I've ever done. I'm not sure. Like, I like the ending of it. I like how it came out. I will hang it up. However, I don't know that primitive is really for me. I think because this was my first foray into primitive. I wanted to give it a try, and I don't think that primitive itself is actually for me. So, doesn't mean that I won't take a primitive pattern and brighten up the colors and make it more for me. I think that's probably what I would have liked more if I had brightened up the colors. So, not to say it's a bad design or anything. I like it. Obviously, I stitched it. And I'm going to hang that up. But I think going forward, if I do any more primitive designs, it's definitely going to be like I'm going to brighten them up. Just because that's my personal taste. That's just my personal taste. All right. So whips. I believe last time I posted a video, I was in the middle of my rotation for the mediums. Medium-sized projects for me are anything between 100 by 100 and 200 by 200 stitches. So, and I was working on my Michael Powell Cappella di Fiori. If I remember, I will put a picture here of what it looked like last time. And there's where it is now. I got a good bit of progress on it because I know that when I started on it for this rotation, I only had like this area around the sun here done and a few of these little like squares or whatever done. Just a few little pieces here and there. So I got a good bit of progress in there. And there's a lot of blending in what I've done so far. Like oops, you can't see. A lot of this up here is all blended. A lot of stuff over here is blended. Michael Powell does like his blends. And it works. I mean, they're great. And this is being done on a piece of 14 count color and cotton Ada in the color Cosmic Candy. It was a fabric of the month early last year, maybe February. Then I also worked on my Fuzzy Fox Designs. I think it's Sparkles, the baby unicorn. This is the one I used for the School of Magical Stitches and Literature. For the animal, obviously, I don't have anything with the dog and I wasn't going to start anything, so filled in more of the white here. And I cheat when I do white. I will add as long as it doesn't make it too bulky, I will add an additional strand. So like normally this is on a piece of 14 count light blue from Witchell or Zweigert, one of the two, I don't know. But like all this over here and the red and the purple and everything, that's all done with 2/1. But for the white, I'm doing 3, like the whites, I'm doing 3 strands over 1. Stop focusing on my face. Because that way it makes it look just a little bit better. I'll do that with black and white sometimes on pieces to give it a more full look. Especially because white is so hard to get it to lay nicely. So I cheat and add another strand. The last whip that I worked on that's not a new start. For week 5 in Magical Stitches and Literature, you seeing a theme here? It's taking over my life. For the last week, which is just the 28th through the 31st, we all got put in detention. And so detention was do 300 stitches on your least favorite project. This is my least favorite project. This is a Dimensions Gold Collection kit, Angelic Melody. It's not that I don't like it. It's just, I don't much care for like red, and there's a lot of red, and I don't much care for gold, and there's a lot of gold metallic in this, and I'm not stitching it for myself, and I don't do spiritual stuff and religious stuff, so I'm making this for my aunt. I think she'll like it. But, so I had barely gotten a start on this. I had the top row done and the top row and the row right below it like half stitched. So I got a good bit of that area done. And then like I was stitching on it, I was fine. I wasn't upset I was stitching on it or anything. But that's like a strand of a light gold and a strand of metallic gold, and then I did some of the red in there. So that's just like, that's like half of this here. Goes to like right there, I think. So now I don't have like this as a priority to finish anytime. It's not like my aunt knows I'm making it for her or anything. But I would like to have it done by the end of the year. That's a soft goal. It's not anything hard and fast or anything like that. So, new starts. I do have 3. I finished 3 things this month, so I can have 3 new starts. That'll bring me back up to 20 whips. What did I finish? Hot cider, black pearl. Oh, my Star Tropic piece. That's what I finished. I was like, how did I get down to 17? So I started some things. I brought this back out and picked the second piece to work on. This I started back in October for the KT Coffee Time Sale, hosted by Tess of Tess Stitches and Carrie of Carrie and Stitches. I did this one already, and now I'm working on But First Coffee. And of course I'm not doing any of the called for colors. Let's see, what colors did I pick? Victorian Motto, DMC, Mosale, more Victorian Motto, Gast. Oh, so when I'm kitting up projects now, I took a page out of Abbey Top-Knot-Stitcher's book, and I'm using old like cards that people have sent me. I believe this came from Heather Moore, Blessed Stitcher. So what I'm doing is I'm just hole punching them, and I'm writing the details on here too, like what you know, what it is, and when I started it, which I haven't written down, but when I started it, when I finished it, what fabric I used, you know, and then this way, it's upside down, and this way I'll know where I'm using it. So there's my meager little start. And this color here is Victorian Motto Antique Cocoa. The modeling is not, or the variegation's not showing up, but it's got some decent variegation in it. And I'm just stitching this in hand because it's so small, because this is 20 count Vintage Country Mocha. So I just stitch it in hand. Which was very strange going back to stitching something in hand, because I haven't for a while. Most of the time it's been my key snaps. And start number 2 was Strawberry House from Little House Needleworks. I think I'm actually using a called for color on part of it. I'm using DMC, Weeks Dye Works, Victorian Motto, Classic Colorworks, Gast, and Color and Cotton. So I've got a whole plethora of things here. I don't know who sent me this card. I think it came from Mama Metzger, if I'm right. Possibly. I don't know. But I darkened up the house. I darkened up the bricks, like, because this calls for Ladybug by Classic Colorworks, which I am using the Ladybug in the strawberries. I do have Ladybug on here for the strawberries. However, I didn't want the house to be that bright. I wanted it to look more brick. So I pulled out Red Wildflower from Victorian Motto. It's so hard to show the variation, even with the sunlight coming in over here. And there's my start so far. And the roof up here is done in Carriage Black from Gast, along with the bird, and those will be music notes. The yellow here is Weeks Dye Works Buttercup. this green here, and here is Color and Cotton Leprechaun. And then this is the red wildflower. I can kind of see the variegation slightly. And this is being done on a piece of 16 count Color Cascades Ada in the colorway Fairy Boots. And there's actually some modeling in it that you can't really see. This needle minder is from House of Mang. Blame it on Bendy. That one was given to me as a gift. I don't remember who gave it to me or when or why. I don't know where it came from. Sorry. I get asked about it quite a bit, and I have no idea. And last new start here, Lizzie Kate's Let Them Be Small. I received this in the Midwest Cross Stitchers group swap that was back in the fall. I think October was like the shipping time, so it was like, you know, late summer, early fall. And I did receive this with a lot of the called for colors. However, it is, especially after doing hot cider, those colors are way dull for me. They're way too muted. Way too muted for my children's personalities. So I brightened it up. And I'm doing this, here's my start. I'm doing this on a piece of 16 count Color and Cotton Ada called Oasis. Again, it was another Fabric of the Month early last year. That needle minder is House of Mang. That needle minder is Cranky Stitch. The purple is a Victorian motto, Midnight Haunting. The green in the plant here and the border there is another Victorian motto called Yellow Green. The red here on the ladybug is Ladybug from Classic Colorworks. The blue color here is a Moe's Sail. I call it Sea Cow. It's called Manatee, but my son has an obsession with manatees because of a British show, a British cartoon called Sarah and Duck. The little girl on there loves sea cows, and they call them sea cows in the UK. So I called it Sea Cow. And then the flowers here is Morning Glory from Sparklies. So I've got, there's going to be some DMC in here. There's going to be some more Victorian motto. There's going to be some more Moe's Sail. There's going to be, okay, that's it. Yeah, more Moe's Sail, more Victorian motto, DMC. Yeah, but I already had to frog a little bit because, like, I guess I messed up something over here. I think it was I didn't space the dot properly and then started counting the L's off of it, and then the N was too short, so I had to frog the N and ill. So ill, and I had to frog that yesterday and redo it, but which I hate frogging. I hate frogging fancy floss, but it's okay. It was just a little bit. I caught it fairly early. See, I'm really enjoying that one. And again, this was another one where I took a, I think it's supposed to be a bookmark, but, or like a gift tag or something, but I turned it into a floss card. So, very happy with that. That's it for stitching, I think. That's it for stitching. Oh, no, I have been working on another project, but I can't show it because the person I'm making it for watches my videos. So when it's completed and she has it and everything, I'll like record a video or take some pictures or whatever before and get them inserted into that video whenever that happens. It's not completely done yet. I'm thinking it should be done and in her hands by the end of February. I've said it on a video, it has to happen now. So y'all are gonna have to hold me accountable. Okay, haul. First, I did receive some Stitchy Kindness. Incy from, I've seen her on, she's on YouTube as a viewer. She's commented on a couple of my videos, and She's on Instagram as cross.stitch.inci, I-N-C-I. She had finished a little unicorn cross stitch from the Stranded Stitch, and she was giving away the pattern, and I won. She had it like giveaway style where if you're interested, and then she'll draw a name. She included any of her extra floss, and it's got the pattern. I love that little unicorn. So cute. It's by the Stranded Stitch. It's supposed to be a unicorn emoji pattern. Love it. She also included this little unicorn needle minder, and I'm guessing this is supposed to be like a scissor fob or something. I'm going to attach them to one of my project bags, because I've got those ones that I got for Christmas that are just kind of plain and boring, so I'll just attach that to, the zipper pull. Sorry, it's a zipper finder, right, Shirl? And she's doing this like all this year, and she even had business cards made. It looks like it says, "Throw kindness around like confetti." And then there's her. Come on. Okay. I'll put her tag on the screen and in the comments anyway, so whatever. Then I also purchased some patterns from Mo's sale. They're not Mo's patterns, but she sells patterns. I got Hands-On Design Good Ship Sampler. And I'm probably going to use exactly none of the called for colors because I have visions for this. It's going to take a little bit of recharting. It comes with this pattern too that I didn't realize. I thought it was just this one, but it comes with this other pattern too, and probably gonna change that one as well. So after I finished Black Pearl from Primitive Hair, I went on her shop again to see if there was something else I wanted to buy from her, and I realized she has a couple of other mermaids too that could be like creepy, and we could put some purple hair on them. So I guess now our bedroom is going to be like creepy mermaid nautical. And I told my husband, he's like, I don't care, whatever. And so this is going to have some purple tones to it. And probably some creepy. We're going to do some creepy. I haven't decided just exactly what just yet, but we'll get there. And then my first Mira. Her name's Zelda. I had to buy her. It's kind of a given. And, but I have plans to modify her to be Zelda from the Legend of Zelda series. And, probably too ambitious for my first Mira, but if it doesn't work out, I will stitch her as she is. I just didn't buy any of the beads or anything like that because, what was the point if I may or may not stitch her this way? So I haven't sat down and looked at, like, I opened it and looked at it. Probably too ambitious for a first Mira, but that's okay. I'll give it a try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Bought a couple project bags. This is from Vicky Stitch and Button. I figure if I'm going to be stitching coffee patterns to hang up on my wall, then I need a dedicated coffee bag. And that's a thing, I'll talk about it more in my plans, but I'm also going to make sure that I have like a coffee pattern on the go all the time. So, so like I finished hot cider, so I replaced it with the coffee time piece. But yeah, really like this one. It actually has one of the sayings from one of the Lizzie Kate coffee time patterns, Today's Good Mood. I think Lizzie Kate's actually, Today's Good Mood is brought to you by coffee. This one is sponsored by coffee, but whatever. But I liked the mint green in this, and she did this like, kind of looks like tweed, like gray tweed interior. It looks really good with it. And look at that. Look at that zipper pull. Maybe if I'd stop focusing on my fat face. There we go. You can see it's got a little heart in the latte. And then she also had these needle minders up there too. They say I need coffee. Although the spacing is a little funny. Like I showed my husband, he was like, I need coffee. I was like, haha, very funny. It's like, I know the spacing's a little off. Doesn't matter. It's fine. You get the sentiment. And yes, I need coffee all the time. Speaking of needle minders, I bought more from House of Meng. She had a girl running a unicorn. And the girl has pink hair. Like, hello. And she also had what she was calling unicorn girls. Girls in dresses with unicorn ears and horns and flowers. I actually bought 6 of these, but the other 5 were gifts, so they're all packed up and waiting to go to their new owners. And last but certainly not least, I did buy another project bag. So Mama Metzger, she's on Instagram, and she's a Flosstuber. She makes videos. She is doing a giveaway when she hits 100 subscribers, which I think she has hit, so probably her next video she's doing a giveaway. She's giving away a Doctor Who Exploding TARDIS Van Gogh painting pattern or project bag. And I saw that and I was like, well, I could take a chance, or I could just ask her if she has any more and I'll buy one. And she had one. So, if you guys didn't know, I'm a huge fan of Doctor Who. My daughter's named after River Song from Doctor Who. And Matt Smith is my favorite Doctor. He's 11. And Van Gogh, I love Van Gogh, and I love Starry Night, and I love this episode where they do the Van Gogh and all that, and yeah. So I had to have this bag. This is my first non-vinyl front project bag. I do prefer the vinyl front, but I don't mind this one either. So I know what's in it. I put my project for River in here, which I need to get on and get it done. I haven't touched it since, like, I stitched on it for a day. I stitched on it on her birthday last year. I started it and didn't finish it. And it's gonna be a quick stitch. Maybe I'll get that finished next week. So I was called out, I guess, by Shirl of Tranquil Stitches to do her Tranquil Stitches tag. So we're going to do that real quick. If you don't want to listen to it, bye. Love you. See you next week. Or in a couple weeks, or whenever, next video. Otherwise, stick around. Question 1, what's your sign? I'm a Libra. I don't really take stock into any of that. It is fun sometimes to read the descriptions and see what's coming for me or whatever. But I don't put any stock in it. 2, have you ever been skinny dipping? Yes. My parents used to have a pool, so it's nothing scandalous. Oh, and I went camping once and didn't bring a suit, and there was a creek, and yeah, whatever. It's not a big deal. It's not a big scandal or anything. 3, what TV show is your guilty pleasure? Pretty Little Liars. I know it's not running anymore, but it was garbage, and I loved it anyway. Grey's Anatomy, maybe, but I guess that's not really a guilty pleasure because it's a fairly popular show, and it's kind of for my age range and everything, too, so I don't know. Maybe it's a guilty pleasure. I don't watch a whole lot of actual TV because we don't have cable, and a lot of stuff I watch is on Netflix. We do have Hulu right now because they had a 99-cent sale, but I don't really care because, like, it's like I like it, so it's not really a guilty pleasure per se. 4, do you hide any food from your family members? I hide food from my children sometimes. I'll hide candy. When I was pregnant with River, and I had a huge craving for those 12 flavor gummy bears from Albanese Candy Company, which, by the way, is in Indiana. I had a huge, like, I was craving those constantly, and I didn't want to share them with Link. So I would put them in a mug and tell him it was coffee and he couldn't have it. Other than that, I don't really hide food. 5, who was the first person you kissed? The first person I remember kissing was in like the first grade. There was this boy named Eric Duncan, and we were at a birthday party at a bowling alley, and we went over to the little arcade in the bowling alley and went behind one of the machines and kissed. Now, my parents say that I had a boyfriend in preschool, who apparently, like, we used to, like, hug all the time and kiss each other on the cheek, but I don't, what was his name? Matt, I think? Matt something. I don't know. I was like 4. So, I don't remember. This is just from them telling me stories, so. 6. What is your worst habit? I don't know. Cursing, maybe, but really I don't think it's a bad habit because they're just words. I don't know. You'd have to ask my husband. He'd probably be better to tell you what my worst habit is. 7. Do you sleep with a stuffed animal? Does my husband count? He has a beard. Occasionally I do. Sometimes I do. Still, I'm 32, and sometimes I will sleep with a stuffed animal. Number 8. If you suddenly became invisible, what's the first thing you would do? Probably just scare the shit out of my husband. That'd be hilarious. Number 9. Do you have a silly nickname? Do I want to share this? Yeah, sure. So, you know, besides the usual baby, hun, sweetie pie, sugar, and things like that, my husband's pet name for me is Pookie Buttsex. Guess I'll have to label this not safe for work. Number 10. Have you ever eaten something off the floor? Who hasn't? 5-second rule. Now, I mean, if it's like obviously got hair and dirt and whatever on it, or if it's like a public place, no. But my floor, if I drop like a French fry or something, yeah, I'll eat it. 11. Have you ever been stood up? Yes. Yeah. I think. Yes, my high school boyfriend was really unreliable, and didn't show up to some things sometimes. That's why he's an ex. Number 12. Have you ever used someone else's toothbrush? Yes. My husband's. I don't remember the circumstances, but yes. I've used his toothbrush. Alright, there you go, Shirl. I answered your silly questions. Everybody else go answer the silly questions too. They're on her, she actually listed that, like, you know, you should watch and listen to her answers, but on her Flosstube number 41, she actually has it listed in the comments, or the caption, what those questions are. That's where I just read it off of. So, go watch her. Shirl McKinney, Tranquil Stitches. I think you're all probably watching her anyway. Plans and shout outs and a giveaway. Yeah. So, let me just drop things. Plans. So, we have now come to the end of my first month of actually doing a rotation. And I like the rotation fine. Mostly. I haven't had any sort of issue, like I haven't had to use my whip wheel yet because I've been able to pick the projects I want. I haven't been stuck or anything like that. And then also adding the challenges for the Harry Potter group makes it even easier to pick stuff because now I have to look at it and go, well, what fits this category? So the only thing I want to change, because right now the 1st to the 7th is my smalls, anything that's less than 100 by 100. The 2nd week is my mediums, which is 100 by 100 to 200 by 200. The 3rd week is my BAPs and my SALs, which obviously SAL is a stitch along. So anything that was a SAL at the time that it was anything that was a SAL at the time it was being released, or anything that's a BAP, which for me is anything 200 by 200 or larger. And then the 4th week is my FFO new start free week. So I can work on whatever. Well, the 4th week is not an actual calendar week, except for the month of February. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my week 3 and my week 4. So now week 3 is going to be my new starts, my FFOs, and my new starts, FFOs, and a free week. Then I'm going to switch the BAPs and SALs to the 4th week, because most of those weeks are going to be 9 or 10 days. They're not going to be 7 days. So this way I have more time to work on those larger projects, because a lot of my SALs are BAPs, except for one, I think. I think one is actually a medium. But most of my SALs are BAPs, and then the SALs, the BAPs obviously are, you know, larger projects, so I need more time to work on them. So we're going to try that out for February and see how that works. So far, with the 3 finishes I got this month, I only have 7 left that I need to do before StitchCon. Because like I said, as part of my plans, I wanted to finish 10 of my current at the beginning of 2019 whips. I wanted to finish 10 of those. And so far I've finished 3. The other 7 are all, like, the other 7, I'm going to use the other 7 items I've picked for Michelle Rudy Farm Girl Stitcher's Stitch 9 challenge. So I've already finished 2 of those. Black Pearl and Hot Cider were on that list. I don't remember what else is on that list off the top of my head. I think Cross Stitch Nation is on there, which I think that's my largest one that I picked. I could actually go to my, hold please. I'm gonna go to my Instagram and look at that post, and then I'll tell you guys. Okay, so Cross Stitch Nation, Black Pearl, which I finished. Oh, my largest one is actually my Fuzzy Fox Designs Pretty Little Produce Sal, which I'll talk more about that one in a minute, actually. The turkey from Fuzzy Fox Designs that I did for Turkey Sal, Frosted Pumpkin Stitcheries, Which Better, Fuzzy Fox Designs Unicorn, a Lucy Heaton Autumn Hedgehog, the piece that I'm doing for River, the Twisted Hearts from Ink Circles, and Hot Cider were in there. So most of them are smalls. Most of them are fairly small, so they'll be easy to do. The bigger pieces, Cross Stitch Nation and the Pretty Little Produce Sal, are going to be a little harder to get done before then, but I can do it. Not a big deal. So Pretty Little Produce, I'm also putting that into another challenge. So Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42, she was talking about how everybody had been joining the Stitch 9 challenge, and she doesn't need 9 whips, and she only has like 5 or whatever. So she is doing another challenge. She is doing, is she calling it the Stitch 1 or the Finish 1? I can't remember. This is going to be the video where I look down at my iPad a lot because I'm trying to find stuff. Okay. Finish 1 challenge. So finish the number 1 challenge. That's her hashtag. So she started a piece in 2017 on May the 4th. So it was a, you know, it was a May the 4th, May the 4th be with you, Star Wars thing. She's shooting for finishing hers by May the 4th. So I decided to take one of my Stitch 9 challenge pieces, and I'm saying I'm going to finish it by May the 4th. And I picked the Pretty Little Produce Sal. Because ideally, I would like to frame that one and have it for the brag table at StitchCon, but we'll see. So I'm like that one's already, I already want that one to be finished by StitchCon, but I want that one to be finished early enough that I have time to get it framed, or frame it myself, whatever, you know, get the stuff together and frame it. So I've done the first 3 months, and there are a total of 36 fruits and veggies, because there was 3 per month for 12 months. I've got the border done. I've got 9 of the fruits and veggies done. So I have 9 months left. So February, March, April. 9 months left. So if I have 3 months-ish to get it done by May the 4th, because I would have February and March and April. So I would have to get 9 veggies done a month. That's doable. It takes like 2 or 3 hours to do a fruit or veggie. Now some of them are a little more involved than others, but I shouldn't have any problem getting them done. But that's my challenge. I've done the border. I've done the first 3 months. I have not done the title yet because I'm unsure what color I want to do the title in. So I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But, so I need to get 9 veggies done a month. I can do that. Because I can probably get like, because that would be part of the Baps and Sal's week. Yeah. I should be able to get it done just fine. So basically I'm just jumping on all the bandwagons. So I'm a bandwagon jumper. Bandwagoneer. Alright, we will end this video with some shout outs here. There are some new Flosstubers that I've watched. 3 of them are actually new, and 1 of them's new to me. So, new is slubloverstitches. Her name's Candice. I've heard her talked about on Jenna X Stitches. She talks about her. They're flossy friends. So she put out a video just today. I watched it. It was pretty good. Interested to see more from her. McFly Stitches. Alpha's Stitchery. Alpha Stitching. She had talked about it. She had talked about how she is like friends with her, and she put a video up, and she hasn't been stitching very long. She's only been stitching since like 2015, and she's pretty good. And Eclectic Reads. I know the name probably turns you off, but Eclectic Reads. It's a guy. His name's Shaun. He just put his first video up yesterday. He is big in the booktube community, so he's got a few followers already, and he's done a lot of videos for booktubing, and I guess he also cross stitches and decided to put a video out labeled Flosstube #1, so go watch him. And then new to me, Jen, Quirks and Stitches. She just did a video today, yesterday, sometime recently, with her husband who stitches as well, and Diana, it is Kismet Stitches, had messaged me and said, hey, he stitches some stuff that you'd probably be interested in, and like, I didn't watch Jen, but now I'm gonna have to go back and binge watch her too, so but yeah, so that's what I've been watching. Of course, all my regular Flosstubers that I've been watching too, but those are the new ones. All right, so giveaway. This is not really for any particular reason. I guess if you want to put a reason on it, I hit 300 subscribers. Yay. I'm shocked that there are 300 of you that want to listen to me babble, but thank you. I do appreciate all the comments, all the likes, every time anybody subs, anytime anybody shouts me out. I love it. It's great. This community has been great. So yeah, 300 subscriber giveaway. Sure. I'm passing my hot cider pattern. So if you want to enter, now see, this is hot cider. I don't drink hot cider. That's why I took I like cold cider. Ice cold apple cider is great. I turned it into, like, I took the words out there so it could be like a coffee cup or hot chocolate. So if you drink hot beverages, what is your favorite hot beverage? Me, coffee, tied very closely with hot chocolate. Both have caffeine. They're both delicious. Sometimes I'll pour my coffee over like a packet of hot chocolate, and that's delicious. It's called a poor man's mocha. and it's great. So if you want to win this, tell me if you drink hot beverages, what's your favorite hot beverage? If you don't drink hot beverages, then put ew, hot beverages, ugh, iced coffee only. Or whatever ice drink you make. I'll drink coffee, hot, cold, room temperature. Usually have to microwave it, whatever. Hashtag mom life. Okay, so I've rambled at you for like 45 minutes now, so I will end this. You guys have a good one. Hopefully it'll be like regularly scheduled Flosstube updates from here, but we'll see. We are down to less than 150 days till StitchCon though. So getting excited about that. But all right, I'll stop rambling. Have a good one, guys. Bye.